6. So we're gonna continue with our origami theme. But I was having a chat with a few people when I was at school, and I'm aware that you've got quite a lot of origami, possibly being misplaced or left in the wrong places, or you've got so much that you don't know what to do with it. So I thought for this week we can make a storage box out of origami so you can contain all of your lovely animals. I've got two. I've got my bird and my frog from previous weeks, but I know some of you will have quite a lot more, especially if you are very technically able at origami and paper folding. So I'm going to show you a video online of how to make this box. I'm also going to show a video of how I make it too. I'll show you a slight adaptation to the one online because I've made these boxes loads of times before, and there is a little, I don't want to say use the word cheat, but there is a way to adapt how it's made to make it a bit easier. So I'll show you my video and I'll link to the other video as well. My video includes a little bit of cutting, which makes it a little bit easier. So let's get started on our box. I've got an A4 piece of paper. On the video online, it tells you to use a 15 by 15 centimetre square. We're not going to do that for this first one. We're going to use a full page of A4. And to create the square, you can either, as you'll need this fold, you can either bring it across like this, and you can line it up on the line. Oh, there we go. And you can press your fold in. Oh dear, no, that went off completely, didn't it? Hang on. You can press your fold in. What you can then do is you can then just cut this bit off here, and you'll have a square. So our squares are actually going to be 21, or just about 21 by 21, and I'm hoping it's going to allow us to fit in. I've got my two here, but there's many more to fit in quite a range of origami animals. So that's how you prep your paper. So from A4, fold it across and then trim off the bottom section, and you will have a square. So like I said before, my video and the one online are slightly different, but it's not a problem. So I'm going to start off by doing a fold line here, which I've already got from cutting my square, and then another fold line across this way. Okay, so to make sure that I can have pink on the outside and not the white, I'm going to now turn this over and just turn the folds in the other way to make sure that I can work this way. Right, so next stage, what you're going to do is you're going to bring this point here up to the centre and do the same with all the other corners. So now I've got all of those folded in, they just about all meet on that cross point, which is great. They will bounce back, but don't worry about that too much. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to open this back up, and we're going to do a new double fold, as what I'll call it, of these lines. One of these diamonds back into the middle, just one at a time, and then you're going to bring this straight edge here to meet the straight edge in the centre, and you're going to do on every single one. Brought that line here all the way up to the top there. Make sure that you unravel that and then twist it around to the next one, doing the same method, bringing the point up and bringing this line here up to the centre. And what will start to happen is you'll start to get lots of little square shapes forming over the centre of the paper, which is exactly what we want. You can see all these squares here, which is exactly what we want. So they kind of cover the whole piece of paper. We're now going to do a little bit of cutting, and if you cut it wrong, it means it doesn't go together properly. So I want you just to have a look at this with me. can you see there is a 2x2 square here? That is going to make the base of your box. Okay, so you want to make sure this stays intact. What we're now going to do is, having the paper with point to point, top to bottom, is I can draw it on for you so you can see we're going to cut from this point here, and we're going to cut 2 boxes, and then we're going to stop in this centre bit here. I'll draw it on for you to show you, but the idea is that we keep this 2x2 box as the centre, the base of the box, and then we're going to cut 4 lines up to that square. So I've just drawn this on for you. You won't see any of these lines because they go inside the box, so if you want to do the same, please do, to help you. So this is the base here, I've just drawn and said base, and then these dashed lines normally mean a cutting line. So we're going to cut up there and there and there and there. So we'll have a kind of a big diamond here and more like a skinny arrow point here once they're cut. They're all cut, and this is now ready actually to construct. But there is again a trick, like with all origami, to get it right. So the first thing you're going to do is, on the big diamonds here, you're going to bring those in so the points meet the middle. Okay, and you want to do that on both. That is the first stage there. Okay, so this is starting to create the base of the box. You are then going to lift the sides up, which will then start to make the sides of the box. So now we're at this point. Now I have done a sneaky bit of gluing at this point. I have glued on my triangles here and my triangle there, partly to show you in the video one-handed, but also it helps the structure. So if there is some glue available, a bit of Pritt stick, just a small amount, you can glue down these triangles here. So it looked like that, and it still won't move. You can see it's holding. And then it means you can just lift up the sides and allow them to stay in the right place. So that is the first stage. What we're then going to do is, these little bits that are loose up here, we're going to fold those in so they make the other side of the box, but they are going to overlap. So just to show you, I'll loosen this slightly. Can you see that I'm holding the 2 sides with my hand and they overlap in the centre? So these are almost like white diamonds, or white triangles, sorry, they hold there, and that's how they overlap. And you can see it's a straight side. Don't have them all loose, they must meet in the middle to get a strong box. You're then going to take this piece here and you're going to lift it over the top. So to lift over the top, what you must make sure is that this piece here comes up and is straight against that one there. The paper's not loose or wobbly, it is straight and it is quite rigid against those 2 triangles. What you'll then do is that you're going to push the paper over, and can you see how it's made one side, the other side, and then also met in the middle to finish off that base there. Okay, now that holds because it's well folded. You can put a bit of glue underneath if you'd like to, but if I just take that off, it does loosen again. So one more time, you've got these triangles here overlapped. You've then got this side lifted up, but flat against that one, and then you push it over and press it in to the box inside. Okay, and that will hold. And if you want to add a bit of glue underneath, you can, like we did here. But you actually don't need glue, which is what's great about origami. We're then going to flip it and do the same on the other side, crossing over those side sections and lifting over the top edge. Emphasise on the final side, you've got your 2 triangles that must overlap each other. Oh, one-handed is tricky. And then, I can't do it, I'll have to show in a minute. And then you lift that top bit over, like we did with the other side. A finished box. Now, like I said, you can glue these bits down if you'd like to, but it will hold. Now, we're not just going to stop here, because I like these boxes, but there's an even better way. That's not gonna hold, hang on. Bear with me with that one. To keep these even safer, we can put obviously our animals in here, and then I've got my bird, but my bird might have to be folded possibly in half to fit. Oh, oops, sorry. Folded in half to fit in, or folded down a stage to fit in, but that's fine, that fits in there. What we're now going to do is we're going to make a second box, but we're going to make it with a slightly smaller slightly smaller square. So this one we made from A4 was about 21 centimetres square. The next one we're going to use, we're going to make one, let's say 19 centimetres square, and that one will quite magically slot inside to make this box be a two-sided, very secure box. So same method, I'm going to make mine up now. Same method as we've just done before, but you're making it with a slightly smaller square of 19 centimetres, and that will just slot in beautifully into the other one, and we will have a very secure, safe box for all of our origami animals. So now I've got a 19 centimetre box and a 21. It will probably be best to put your origami inside the 19 one because it's the smaller one. So I'm going to get my bird there and put my jumping frog in there. I'm just holding them down because they do like to spring back, as we know. And then I'm going to get my I'm going to get my lid, and I'm going to slot my lid on top, and then we have a secure box for our origami. Now, the aim would be to try and make two of these, slightly two different sizes, 21 and 19, because they, I think, are a good size to fit our animals. If you've got loads, then maybe make a couple of boxes or 4 boxes that become 2 sealed boxes. There's also a video linked online of how to make a box without cutting, which will be a slightly higher level of origami. I'm also going to add on a few other kind of boxes. There's a rectangular box as well, so you can experiment with basically shapes and storage this week. Next week we'll then go back onto our origami animals and do a slightly different style to what we have done before. As I always say, please upload a photo to Teams of your origami boxes, either one box, or if you've managed to do a sealed box with 2, like I have, that would be great. And if you've done any other types of 3D shape or 3D storage shape, they would be great to see too. Thank you very much.